For the time will soon come that hobbits, will shape the fortunes of all. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. Guys, I wanted to talk about relic efficiency and what what characters are best at Relic 0. What teams can you just leave at Relic 0? Relic 0 being Gear 13 without applying a single relic level. Now, we've already kind of established why it's best to have Relic 0. We've talked about it a lot, for GAC purposes, of course. It's going to get you better matchups to keep your relic levels and your matchups lower. But obviously there's some good things about relics. You're getting some extra resilience, you're hitting better. And so I wanted to point out some squads, some specific characters that are going to do you better at Relic 0, from an efficiency standpoint, from a mechanical standpoint. Granted, like Relic 8 is obviously better than Relic 0 just from a pure stats standpoint, but on a mechanical standpoint, like you're not gaining anything extra after you get to Gear 13. You're not gaining anything other than resilience and ability to hit harder. You can't gain tenacity, potency, you can't gain extra speed, etc. All the different things, like your rules don't change or anything, like your interactions stay the same, but you can only interact with things in a more damage, less damage way the more relics you add. Now, granted, there's a couple different reasons to add relics, like if you want them for a ship specifically and you need that ship to be a certain speed, then maybe you need to have higher relics on characters, or if you need them for the challenge rancor, or if your guild is requiring you to do stuff. If you want to do cam mission, for instance, you probably need Relic 5 clones at a minimum. That being said, let's actually hop in just 1 second. Just want to remind you guys, if you wanted to support the channel for free, I would really appreciate just hit that like button or leave a comment in the comments area or wherever you want, or leave one everywhere. I don't even care. I'm crazy. But that being said, I would really appreciate you guys doing that. Our channel's been growing a lot, and it's because of you guys being so diligent, hitting that thumbs up button and leaving comments for the algorithm, which we are trying to mount like a horse. A horse. Okay, guys? Let's go in right now and talk about relics and stuff. Whoa, we're in the roster screen madness. Whoa. Okay. Let's talk about Commander Luke first, and the squad. So this whole squad it's kind of just an interesting thing because yes, you want your pilots to be higher gear level potentially. Like you want your Millennium Falcon to be able to hit hard. So those relics are nice, but this whole team is actually kind of custom built to just be a machine at Relic 0. I have it at Relic 0 on Prevail Man. Granted, keep in mind, folks, this is my alt account that we're showing here, because my main account, it would make me look like a hypocrite because of how many non-Relic 0s I have. My main account, totally different story. And this account is actually a prime example of why you want to put relics on characters. I'm unlocking Jedi Master Luke as we speak. Well, not literally as we speak, but this account is slowly working its way toward Jedi Master Luke at glacier speed. But Chewbacca and Han Solo both need to be at Relic 6. 2PO needs to be at 5. 3PO needs to be at 5 for that. But before this, they were all at Relic 0-ish. So, that's one good reason that you want to put relics on characters, right? Like, no one wants you to put Relic 5 on Rose Tico. No, I want you to, because I don't want good things for you. No, what am I saying? Of course I do. That's why I make content. But Rose Tico doesn't, the only reason anyone puts relics on her is because either they're crazy and they're masochists, or more likely they're trying to unlock Rey. Similarly, all these other characters, it's a fantastic reason to put relics on characters in the right time to be able to unlock a Galactic Legend. So, Commander Luke team works really well at Relic 0. My Prevail Man account, if you want to watch any examples of that, Prevail Man account does a fantastic job against this squad, or with this squad here. at Relic 0. So what's going on here is Luke is giving everyone a ton of turn meter. Han Solo's reducing turn meter on people when he shoots people, and he's stunning people. Chewie is stunning people. It's all about control, and all of the squads that we're going to talk about today basically are about control, because you're relying on not getting punched in the face, right? And so, you know, Commander Luke stuns people, Chewie stuns people, Han stuns people, Chupio gives everyone blind so they can't hit you. Chewie is able to dispel things with his AoE. 3PO is able to keep buffs off of people with his Confuse. He's able to call people to assist. He's able to reduce cooldowns. Commander Luke is giving turn meter to everyone, and the whole team operates at blinding, crazy speed. Like, you can get into a crazy turn meter loop where the opponent doesn't even take a turn, especially when you're stunning people at opportune moments. So the other thing about it is, though, if you're not doing that, if you're not doing the pure damage via relics thing, the reason it works is because Chewie does percent health damage every time he does any kind of physical damage. That's why you can load him with tenacity and he still hits like a truck, because he still does 20% max health damage every time he does damage. Similarly, 3PO is applying expose at a crazy rate, and therefore everyone's doing 20% max health damage to people every time they're exposed. So this team doesn't need a whole lot. The only thing I will say is Chupio really relies on, the whole team really likes to have Commander Luke be a little bit more robust, just because Commander Luke is the one who Chupio takes the stats from. It's like, okay, we'll take 20% of this and hand it to the rest of the squad. So having a high relic level on Commander Luke would make a little bit of sense. However, even my main, where everyone else here is Relic 7, my main only has a Relic 6 Commander Luke. So as Han would say, at least that's what one of his moves is. The other ones are just shooting people. So the next one, guys, Jedi Revan and company, they are all about control as well. You can see Jedi Revan is Relic 3 on this account, but he could be at Relic 0. I don't know why. I think I was just being a little bit whimsical on this account. If one can be said, if I can be said to be whimsical about anything. But Jedi Revan is pretty dang good at Relic 0. So are the rest of them. You can see Basti and Jolee at Relic 0. Jolee likes to be a little bit higher, sometimes even just to be a little more resilient, get that extra crit avoid on him. But if you mod him well, I mean, all of this stuff requires decent modding, guys. And, you know, I've put out guides about how to mod a lot of these things. You can check on those guides and everything. But that being said, this whole team revolves around control as well. You have Jedi Revan, who's marking people and just giving people assists and healing people. Grandmaster Yoda, every time he is called to assist, gains 40% turn meter if the character is above 50% health. So Jedi Revan calls him to assist, Hermit Yoda calls him to assist, Basti does, so does Jolee. All of them call him to assist. He does his AoE for 100% turn meter, or actually a bonus turn, and so he can cycle through his moves quite a bit. He can then hand back Jedi Revan's his leadership ability back and forth. Playing ping pong, Jedi Revan is also making the whole team more resilient in terms of, like, Savior is really good, Jolee keeps everyone alive, Grandmaster Yoda puts foresight on everyone, Hermit Yoda puts foresight on everyone, and he heals. And they also have stuns from Bastila and from Jedi Revan and from Grandmaster Yoda. They all stun people. This team is all about control, and therefore, even though it may take a while to chew a team apart, to pieces, whatever you want to call it, you can do that through this team with being really low relic levels, and I have for a long time. Now remember, if you're going to be facing like some kind of a galactic legend and trying to do a counter for that, you may need a little higher relic levels just because they have way more hit points, and if you don't do it in a timely fashion, that galactic legend may just rip your face off, and you want him to rip faces off at a slightly slower rate if possible. Now the same can be said about Darth Revan. There's a sketchy counter using him against Jedi Master Luke and against the Rey teams out there, some of them. So you want higher relics. However, if you have good mods on your characters, like Jedi Revan, you can see my Jedi Revan is pretty blindingly fast for this GPA. He might be the fastest Relic 0 Darth Revan in the game at 351, which is just a crazy amount. But, you know, if you can go first with this team, it's all about control. Once again, you have fear from Darth Revan and from Darth Malak and from Basti. You have the lightning so that they can't gain bonus turn meter. They can't heal their health. No one makes me heal my own health. And otherwise, like Darth Malak does his force drain so that he is just not that he's not dead yet, but he can you know, he has the forced taunt from Darth Revan and Basti, and they have regeneration. The three of them do, at least. Sith Marauder hits like a truck based off of all of their debuffs that they're generating on themselves and on others. And HK just sits here at a gear 11 and does almost nothing, but he's Sith Empire, so hey, it doesn't actually nerf the damage because of Darth Revan's leadership. So this whole team is all about control. Like I said, if you have a slower Darth Revan than your opponents, then you gotta be able to take a punch, and therefore you probably would want a few more relic levels if you were taking a lot of punches. Keep in mind that Basti and Revan, the Basti kit, actually provides the ability to take a ton of hits between those two of them, because she gives both of them plus 70% bonus health. And so, I mean, she just, or whatever you want to call it, like max health, she gives them a ton of it. So mod them with a lot of health, and issue forth and conquer. This team does so many crazy things at Relic 0. It really does. Now, General Grievous needs at least Relic 3, in my opinion. That's the sweet spot in order to start killing people. I know people say that Relic 5 is the minimum. I say Relic 3 if he's well modded. If he is crap modded, sure, Relic 5. Do that if you have a bad amount of mods. And I sound flippant here, but I mean, here's the truth, guys. Relics can actually replace good modding to some degree. You're just going to get worse matchups in GAC, and your roster isn't going to be as efficient. So, I mean, if you want to do that, and the other thing is you don't want to spend relic mats, right? So, I mean, there is that. One thing I do want to point out, folks, before we continue, I want to point out territory battles. The Commander Luke team at Relic 0 consistently got me at least 3 waves in the light side geo territory battle. Now that they're higher relics, I've noticed they do a little more damage. It's a little more certain, but really 3, usually 4 waves is what you can get in GOTB. So even at Relic 0, you're not hurting your guild by keeping them that way. Jedi Revan does suffer from GOTB. He just does, because of all the crazy AoEs that are going on. This team is a little bit flimsy at this level, and usually you're left with like 1 or 2 waves out of 4, if not 0. Sometimes I'll get 4. That does happen, you know, but from a mechanical standpoint, there's just too much damage. From a brute force standpoint, there's too much damage from GOTB. Now, Darth Revan at Relic 0 does really great all the way through at least the 3rd wave, or 3rd day. 4th day, all bets are off because they have a billion potency, and the second your HK dies, with tenacity down, you can't apply debuffs and are therefore effed in the A, as they say. So we have, I mean, it does fine through day 3, and it'll get you 1 wave in day 4, because those are guys who have lower tenacity. But after that, these guys probably need to be helped by like a Galactic Legend or something. I mean, day 4 in Darkside TB is still pretty tough, actually, despite its age. Now, Grievous and company, they do great at this relic level. I consistently finish the Watt mission with this team, and there are no issues. Or Watt mission, sorry. The mission that requires Watt as the last member, as the 3rd wheel. So this whole team operates as just an engine of destruction for General Grievous, who is an engine of destruction. I mean, B1, it's nice because he does so much volume of attacks. Like, he attacks every single time another teammate attacks as well. So that's great. But the thing is, you know, you want relics on him and everything, but at the end of the day, he is just a guy who applies a lot of target lock and heals people. Same with B2, he dispels people and gives target lock when necessary. and does other debuffs. IG 100 does similar things. It's all just a construct for Grievous to rip everyone's faces off via lightsaber. I guess that would be like more like burning them off, but you get the point. Now, the Bounty Hunter team, guys, Relic 0, you can see all the way across the board. Relic 0 is just fine for this Bounty Hunter team because it's all mechanics based. You want Bosk, he's super resilient at Relic 0. Grief is really resilient at like Gear 11, but he's faster at Relics. Jango and Boba gain most of their damage through their mechanics, their mechanics, but also through getting all their gear all the way up to 13. Granted, they do hit way harder at Relic 7 and 8, but in order to do the things that you want bounty hunters to do, you're not usually taking down teams that have a huge amount of hit points. You're usually taking down teams that have tricky mechanics, and bounty hunters, when they counter those mechanics, don't really need to worry about taking out, like doing a massive amount of damage. But what they do really well, they prevent revives, and so on a lot of those teams that have a lot of revives, this team just does really well. Like the Mon Mothma team, if you can survive long enough or actually get turns, then this team is really cool because you just slowly, one by one, just like take one guy out, and then they get a little less firepower. Take another guy out, a little less firepower, and this is the team that just gets the job done. Now, of course you have to use discretion, like, will this team just blow me out of the water immediately? Then probably not. You may also want to wonder, ask yourself why you're in the water in the first place, to be honest. But that being said, let's talk about these last couple characters, folks, and why they're kind of just one-off characters, but why are they good to be at Relic 0? Thrawn is just a purely mechanical beast. He wants to be fast, so get him Gear 13. But then after that, he's resilient enough, frankly. I mean, this isn't amazing, but you're not going to get that much off of relics anyways until you put a ton of relics on him. He's fine. Just get him, make him fast, and call it a day. I mean, 309 isn't the fastest Thrawn ever, of course, but he does just fine, and he doesn't need to do damage. That's not his purpose. His purpose is to hold someone's arms behind their backs while their buddies do the his buddy does the punches. Punchings, that's all. Watt is also someone who wants all the speed he can get so he can apply that second bonus, that second buff to people. But otherwise, he's already pretty resilient here. He doesn't really need that much more. He just wants to be fast, put some potency mods on. I realize I don't have potency mods on, so don't try to get mad at me. Actually do it, or do not, as Yoda would say. Actually do it. There is no try. But this guy, he doesn't need more. Relic 0 is fine. I know that for an unlock you need him at Relic 7, but mine doesn't care if he's Relic 7 or Relic 0. Like, I had never noticed a difference between my alt and my main and Relic 0 on Watt. Now, Darth Treya is another character. Like, maybe you would be beneficial. It'd be beneficial to have her at like Relic 5, because her team is literally just sit there and watch the other team rip itself apart. That's her kit. And so it's nicer to have a lot more hit points and protection and crit avoid and all that stuff just sitting there with, you know, a ton of relics, watching them rip their face off, as opposed to Relic 0. But even at Gear 12, this team, it was like the last one for top end players to get to Gear 13, because it is just so good. Even at Gear 12, Gear 13, they get so much more stuff that really you can just stop there a lot of times. My main account still has really low relic levels on Nihilus and Scion, because you just don't need super high relic levels, even on a high-end account like that. Brood Alpha, I'm just being lazy, because I don't want to apply these stupid fusion furnaces to him too, because my geos are pretty awful, but this is a really great bang for your buck character. I mean, sure, it's nice to have more relic levels, but relic level, like, check this out, guys. This is why relic levels are so good, or gear levels are so good. You gain 8 speed, this much strength, this much health, all this extra damage, armor penetration, tenacity, health steal, physical critical chance, all that stuff with one piece. It's 200 points is all it is. It's like 200, something low. And you get all that, as opposed to one relic level. is like, yay, I guess I'll get, you know, 1,000 health, woo, you know, a little extra damage, yay, I'll you know, hooray for that. As opposed to like speed and all that stuff. That's why relics are so good, or gear levels as opposed to relics are so good. Now, Piet is another one who is really strong. Obviously, we need him for Executor at Relic 8 eventually, but he'd be happy to just sit there at Gear 13 because all he needs to do is be fast. Gear 13 gives him all the bonus speed you can get from gear, and then get him some extra mods and call it good. He's on my wish list right now, my favorites. He is absolutely being fast-tracked to Gear 13 as we speak. Well, literally just sitting there as we speak, kind of just like breathing in and out with his animation, but that's all he is really needed to do. Like you can see, even we have a mismatched set here because he doesn't do anything but be fast. That's the only thing he needs to do. Get 2 Zetas for him and make him be fast and call it good. And that's it, folks. Those are the characters I identified. I know there's more, and I'd be interested to hear what you guys think about this list, about what my stated objectives here are. You know, I'm trying to be honest here. I mean, I know that if you want to do arena, or if you want to do, you know, there's a bunch of different things. It's like, sure, a couple more relic levels might be nice to actually expedite things, but if you're going from GAC, or you know, if you don't know if you would need a squad, you're not going to use it in any other game mode. This is kind of, you know, this is a good pursuit. Try to keep your relic levels low as you can get. You're going to get better matchups. You're going to face other GLs way less, and it's going to be better for you in the long run. That being said, folks, what did I miss? Let me know in the comments respectfully. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Xaereth prevails.